And we're back. I know I always say it. This is the Final Percent podcast with Greg Kimball. You know, we're going to do something just a little bit different today. I want to call people on my phone and put them on blast. So I think what better to actually, you know what, we'll do that in kind of the middle of the podcast. The thing I want to talk about today is living with intention. Living with intention. So if you are going to make that phone call or you're going to try to move up in your company, build a business, become someone, whatever it is, I want you to start thinking of doing it with intention. What is your intention? What is your intended outcome? And I often think that so many people are just kind of floating through their life with no intention. I mean, they have these dreams and these wishes and certainly sometimes goals, but they're not really doing things with intention. They're not speaking to their mate with intention. They are not building relationships with intention. They're not learning with intention. And there's one thing in the book Outliers with Malcolm Gladwell. He talks about 10,000 hours, this, that, and the other. And there's a lot of truth to that because, I mean, honestly, time really does help. But it's not just spending the time. It's doing things with intention. Yes, that's one of them. But the other side of the coin is deliberate practice. That means, hey, instead of noodling around on the guitar, are you deliberately learning something new? Your intention is to learn something new. What are your intentions with your actions? Are you, again, going back to some of the other podcasts, are you just trying to look active or are you accomplishing something? And in the Instagram age, we have this idea that we always have to be active and we always have to be this, that, and the other. And no one is showing the accomplishments of, like, I mean, think about what that would look like. Everyone always shows the before on the food that they eat. You know what? On Instagram, I want people to start taking a picture of a clean plate. I want to show me that you went the final percent, you finished your food. I think we should be posting more stuff like that and have a culture of people who finish things instead of start things. I think it'd be great. And so one of the things that I would really like to do is I want to see how the intended communication goes. And I mean, what better company to mess with than my company? So let's call KMG. I'm going to block my number and we're just going to see what happens. All right. So we're calling them right now. They better be with intention. Oh, it's going to be embarrassing if they don't answer the phone.
Thank you for calling KMGLife. This is Ashley. How can I help you?
Ashley, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You are live on my podcast.
This is Greg.
You are live on my podcast right now.
You know, it didn't sound like you. I was like, hi? Like,
Yeah.
and then it shows up as anonymous. And I was like,
Well, I star
who's
six.
anonymous?
Yeah, I star 6-7 my number because I wanted to. And then it was ringing longer than normal, and I was going, "Oh man, I hope they answer. Otherwise, this is because I mean we're recording live right now, and I'm testing this out. I'm putting you on blast."
Okay. This is not scheduled.
Yeah, not scheduled. But anyway, how I just want to kind of talk about some of the things that you have worked with in the Final Percent. What are some of the things that you use in your life? The topic of today that I've been talking about is intention, living your life with intention and say, hey, you know, it is my intention to get better instead of just saying, oh, I hope I get better, like actually having an intended target and living life deliberately and trying to accomplish things. And I mean, who better to put on blast than Miss Ashley Kisner?
I feel like the lucky winner on that one. I'm so excited I didn't prepare for this. Um, I would say a big thing, especially in reading so many books, and I mean, my journey in general has been so molded and shaped by Greg. So it's like, everything that I've done has been more in the footsteps of you specifically. But the best thing that I could really say is being able to set actionable goals for yourself has been huge for me. And it's more, I mean, obviously sometimes goals can change and you can make smaller ones and make bigger ones and try and figure out how you can accomplish them in a certain amount of time. But for me, it's like there are so many people, it seems like, going in for work on their 9 to 5 regular jobs, just kind of like living life, going through like, okay, right when I get off work, I'm going to start my day. And then they'll just veg out in front of the couch. And it's trying to figure out exactly how you're going to use that time that is yours to better yourself and the people around you that makes the most sense for your life, and setting actionable goals for yourself and even significant others or people that are in your life to make sure you're always doing things on a daily basis that are going to push those forward are going to be the best way that you can really go the final percent in life and in your workplace. So it's like a big thing, especially that I've learned from even Kayla, is setting up a morning routine and even an evening routine so that no matter what, if you start your day off on the right foot and you know you've already knocked out certain things that you're trying to get accomplished toward a certain goal, then when you start your day and you go into the workplace, you can obviously accomplish those other goals that are, per the workplace's goals. So it just depends on what you're trying to do to move those things forward. But I mean, putting in actionable goals and putting up a morning routine has been the biggest thing that I've done to change my life in that aspect.
Now, I assure you, just to anybody who's listening to this right now, I absolutely did not text her saying, "Hey, I'm going to call you." Like, I really did surprise her. But that was great. That was absolutely
Oh,
great.
thanks. I was like, you know what? I would have liked to text.
Well, I figured
But
I figured
I'm
you
glad that
could
was
do it. You
somewhat what
could
you're
do it.
looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, so one of the things that we're going to talk about today, and well, I have you, and maybe I'll call you back maybe tomorrow or next week. I don't know when it could be. It could be in 5 minutes. I'm not sure. But
Great.
one of
I'm pumped.
one of the things that we're trying to kind of implement with people is as you're going through, whether it's your life or you're going through your business, you're going through any part of what you are trying to do, like you were saying, these actionable goals, these actionable things that you want to get accomplished, breaking them down obviously into smaller goals. And what I have been trying to talk to people through is saying, okay, if we were in the NFL, what does a game look like for you? Like, if you're going to win one game, what does that look like for you? And then that could be a day or it could be a week, however you want to look at it. But then after you win that part of it, what does your Super Bowl look like? Now, your Super Bowl should be a year long. Like, if you just absolutely crush your every single game and you make it to the Super Bowl, what does your Super Bowl look like at the end of the year? Is it, I've got this much money in the bank, I have this much influence, this many followers, this many students that you've signed up, whatever it is, but what's the Super Bowl look like? And then even beyond that, what does the Hall of Fame look like? If you're in the Hall of Fame for people at, whether it's at KMG or schools around the world, schools in the US, what does that look like? If we want to become in the if we are in the Hall of Fame because we won so many Super Bowls, and you can only win Super Bowls if you win so many games, living your life with the intention of winning that game, living your life with the intention of winning the Super Bowl at the end of the year, and then of course, giving your career, putting it into the hands of your peers and colleagues, and they say, hey, this person belongs in the Super Bowl. And I think your morning routine, I think that is huge. The books that you read, the people you spend your time with, and then having actionable goals, like you said, I think you're absolutely on the right track. But I will tell you this, we're going to call you back at some point, and you're going to tell me what is your personal game, what is your personal Super Bowl, what's your personal Hall of Fame, and then your career game, your career Super Bowl, and your career Hall of Fame. We're going to talk to you about that probably next week. I wouldn't just call you back immediately because that'd be mean. But yeah,
I'm down.
thank you so much for picking up the phone and letting me harass you a little bit. But I knew that you were going to knock it out of the park.
No problem, Grayla. You let me know if you need anything else.
All right. Thank you so much, Ash. Talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Well, it's pretty obvious. She gets it. We've been working together for a long time, and she's one of the people that I am most proud of, and she has come so far, and I really think that she's one of those people who, I mean, they're just getting started. I mean, you want to talk about someone who's going to end up in the Hall of Fame of just world-class people. I'm so proud of her, and that's why I knew she would be a good person. And honest on my love for my wife, I did not give her a heads up. That's who she is. That's how she goes about life. She's deliberate, she's intentional, and she really wants to make a difference. And so with this going into the weekend, this is going to be for Friday. Guys, I want you to live with intention. What do you intend to do with your life? What do you intend to do with this week, with this day, with this weekend? What are your intentions with the life you've been given, the opportunities you've been given? Remember, you have to have vision over circumstance. Don't let your circumstances define you. If you want to be the president of the United States, if you want to be the most well-known influencer on the planet, if you want to have the world's first, whatever comes after $1 trillion company, I don't care, but set that intention up and say, okay, cool, that's my Hall of Fame. How many Super Bowls is it going to take for me to get to the Hall of Fame? And then how many games do I have to win that many Super Bowls? Live life with intention and start with the micro interactions that you have. When you're trying to and have a mental affirmation, if you're going to talk to someone, one thing, and I'll be honest with you, I say this all the time. It is absolutely my intention. I say, you have never met anyone like me, and I'm going to change your life. I actively try to change people's lives. That's why I was put on this planet. I firmly believe that. So find out, what are you trying to do, and then before you have any conversation, whether it's with a stranger, it's with your boss, your employee, your significant other, find out what you want to do and say, hey, I'm going to be seen as an authority in this. I am going to be amazing at this. I'm good. Start saying that, and maybe not out loud, because then maybe that does get kind of weird, but say that to yourself. Be intentional with how you go through life. And you know what? Take risks. Take risks. No matter what you do, you cannot get out of this world alive. So be intentional with your life and make a difference. The only way to live forever is if you change some lives, if you have a legacy, if you build big, great, beautiful things, if you have a great family, if you're a great husband, if you have kids that are going to go out and make a difference to other kids. I mean, let's stop living behind a phone, and let's go be intentional with who we are in the real world. So this weekend, I am asking you, please be intentional with your actions. This has been the Final Percent Podcast with Greg Kimball. I really appreciate you listening to this, and we're staying on track. We're going to have fun. Thanks again, and thank you, Ashley, for coming in on the podcast with us. Take care, guys.